So what we're really talking about here is rifle power, true rifle power, but out of a handgun. Amazing. Hello everyone and welcome back to AmmoMart, where you can find real firepower online. Today we're going to continue our History of video series and talk about the .454 Casull caliber. It's one of my all-time favorites and will next video give birth to the debut of Big Bore Thursday. Very excited about that. .454 Casull has some amazing characteristics if you're not familiar with it. It operates at 60,000 psi or up to, and believe it or not, can launch a 250 grain bullet downrange at almost 2,000 feet a second. So what we're really talking about here is rifle power, true rifle power, but out of a handgun. Amazing. So how did all this come to be? Let's go back to the 1950s and talk about two gunsmiths, Dick Casull and Jack Fulmer. For whatever psychotic reasons they decided this, they came to the determination that the .44 Remington Magnum just wasn't quite powerful enough. So they did some experiments, did some tweaking, got some ideas, and decided that what they would do is take a .45 long Colt case. There I said it, everybody gets mad when I say long Colt. Took a .45 Colt case, stretched it, strengthened it, and you have what we now know as the .454 Casull. During that period of time, revolvers just couldn't take that kind of pressure. They just weren't built well enough, strong enough. The metallurgy wasn't there, the engineering wasn't there. So they tweaked a Ruger Blackhawk and made it strong enough to do what it was they wanted it to do. And it worked. It worked incredibly well. During that time, handgun hunting exclusively was becoming more and more popular throughout the country. Most of the time, when you would see big revolvers with that kind of power, they were used as backup for guides or hunters that happened to be out chasing dangerous game. The Casull gave you the ability to actually drop dangerous game with the handgun on purpose. As we mentioned, true rifle power, but out of a handgun. One of the first people to get really super successful with the .454 Casull, as far as a revolver platform goes, was FIREARMS out of Wyoming. This particular example I have here, 7.5-inch ported barrel, is from FIREARMS. For those of you that know, this will become very redundant to you. This guy is one of the best made and strongest built revolvers that money can buy. Yes, they're a fairly expensive item depending on the one you choose, somewhere between 11, 12, 1300, all the way up. They can be expensive, but to those that own them and can appreciate them, well worth the money. When this revolver is made, the cylinder tolerances are less than 0.03 of an inch. This is not some mass-produced piece of junk, believe me. It's very strong, and you can have it your whole life despite shooting the internal pressures that the Casull creates. This is a single action version of it, and the revolver I have next to it is a .44 Magnum, 7.5-inch barrel as well. I just brought it along by way of comparison. The weight is relatively the same. They're really not that much more weight, and they're certainly the same size comparatively. One of the other cool aspects of the .454 Casull is because it's the same diameter as other .45s, you can shoot long Colt out of it, .45 Schofield, and this happens to be a cylinder, a spare cylinder for .45 ACP. Much like .357 and .38, it doesn't work the other way because of the extra length that you find with the Casull cartridge. The technical specifications for the .454 cartridge, it has a 1.383-inch cartridge length, slightly longer than the .45 Colt, so you can obviously put more powder in it. The normal sort of bullet weight ranges greatly because it's been around a while, but right around 240, 250 grain mark usually seems to be the most popular. And when running that configuration, you can expect foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle to be right around 1900. That's an amazing amount of power for a handgun. So right now, commercially, lots of people are making revolvers in the .454 caliber. Taurus, of course, Ruger. We mentioned FIREARMS. One of the things before we go further, I'd like to mention that made all of that possible with the different makers was the 454, originally invented by Casull. This revolver, that caliber, made people step up their game making revolvers related to metallurgy, the strength of the actions, and just how durable the revolver was going to be, in my opinion, was changed quite a lot by the invention of the 454 caliber. It became kind of a thing to sort of compete or follow along with the innovations that Casull and Fulmer had come up with, and the revolver industry and certainly handgun hunting was changed forever. In our next video, what we're going to do is test the stopping power of the 454 into some gelatin blocks, as well as backed by some cardboard that we've done in the past. And I think you're going to find that at a relatively close range, say 25 yards, this guy truly does have rifle power. See you next time.